What is up, you guys? I am finally back home, and you guys wouldn't believe what happened to me. Like, probably a couple of hours before I returned home, but whatever, it's not worth mentioning. So, this is the season when school ends, and obviously, some folks are graduating. So that inspired me to go ahead and share with you guys what my graduation experience was like. For starters, there's really nothing exciting to really tell you. I remember I graduated on June the 9th or the 10th, 2012. For me, the most impressive part of the day was the fact that we were all assembled and we all had the same thing in mind, which is this is it. After this, school is over. Unless, you still have the pursuit for college and everything like that. For me, the speeches by our valedictorian, our teacher of the year, and the principal, is sorry, but it's not really memorable. I remember that the teacher of the year happened to be my advisor, and he was also my civics teacher. So it was exciting to have him standing on that podium delivering a speech for us because he was one of my favorite teachers and had significant influence in me. One of the things he said in his speech was, get out of your phones because time is really going to fly by now. And you're going to realize that a lot of it went wasted doing things that you couldn't even touch or feel, or, get out of your screens, get out of your computers, get out of the phone. And the month, almost a month that I was without my phone, I can say that I sense where he was coming from, because for a lot of things, I instinctively wanted to reach for my phone and either look something up, read something up, or try to find out something about someone. And I had no idea just how much time goes drained by my phone and also the entertainment that my phone provides. It's weird because even though I didn't have my phone, I didn't feel like I was an addict. And I'm like, oh, I'm going nuts because I don't have my phone. The only worry I had was not being able to film, but at the same time, I could journal. So journaling is what I used to do before filming. One of the things that also stood out to me was when he said, take a look at the folks who are sitting right next to you, because a lot of these folks you'll never ever see again. And it's true, because we've all gone our separate ways. I no longer live in the town where I graduated from. So I stumbled upon a girl who I went to middle school with in the city, and we stared at each other like, hold on, are you so-and-so? Yeah, I'm so-and-so. I saw you. And I kept staring because I was like, is that who I think it is? And it's a girl who, at times, people would say that we looked alike because of our hair type. And I guess we kind of do have the same skin color. But I just thought, wow, it is possible to actually meet people again. So I remember my mother would share stories like that. Oh, this person who you just saw me chatting with was someone I went to school with, etc. But since she herself doesn't live in her hometown, it is absolutely not likely that she'll stumble upon anybody like I did. But yeah, you guys, back to graduation. I remember that my cap and gown were navy, which was super awesome for me because navy is my favorite color. I have it somewhere. I was planning on wearing it for the video, but I didn't think I would find it on time, and I am filming right now. Sort of about to be on the go. Anyways, graduation night was also interesting because my father was actually there, and along with my non-official godfather. And what I mean by non-official is by the time we met this guy who was interested in being my godfather, legally I already have a godfather. My mom was discussing that with him and whatsoever, so he just decided to go ahead and keep acting like a godfather, but not on the legal level. But for me, it was unbelievable that this person considered very seriously to become a godfather to me, because I've never had a father figure like that, so it had me tripping. So having him and my real father in the same place at the same time, it was like, wow, I'm in a conflict, because naturally I'm supposed to be more inclined for one of them, but I really felt more comfortable with the other one. As much as I want to say that it meant a lot for my dad to be there, it kind of didn't, because I just feel like he was there just to be able to say that he was there. I don't think he was genuinely there for me. But anyway, it still didn't compromise the quality of my night. You know, I was still that loner. I hugged all of my classmates who I was tight with and close friends with. Unfortunately, we don't stay in touch anymore. But I do have means to communicate with them, like Facebook or text them. And usually for my birthday, at least one of them texts me. So that's pretty exciting. One of those persons is actually the guy I went to prom with. I'll make a prom video soon, so you guys will get to see it. Graduation night was kind of bittersweet too, because I was also in the middle of moving. Like the next day, I was already packed up and just on my way to the next city that mom and I would live for a year. And it was kind of a stressful time, but at the same time, the fact that such a significant chapter in life was coming to an end, it was kind of surreal, you know. And I also graduated with excellent grades. I wasn't in the top 25, but I was really close. I was like number either 34 or I don't know, out of 300 of us, 350 who were graduating, I was up there. So not that I use that as a measurement of my intellect, because, you know, GPA depends on stuff like what kind of courses did you take? Did you take courses that have more points than others? And since I knew that I wasn't taking the college path, I didn't care to take AP classes, but I did take 3 of them. I took AP Environmental Science, AP Chemistry, and AP Spanish, which I aced it, and I am so happy and so proud, because I thought that I was going to just not do too well on it. But yeah, you guys, graduation night is one of those things that you don't go through every day, so you'll feel excited. And if you don't feel incredibly excited, that's fine. Don't feel pressure to have to feel a certain way about that date, because honestly, it varies from person to person. For me, it could have been better, but it simply wasn't, because I just wasn't the type who had a lot of friends to be like, oh yeah, I'm having an after party at so-and-so with so-and-so, you know, and I was fine with that. Additionally, stuff at home was pretty rough, so it's not like I could focus on celebrating. My diploma, I picked it up from school about 2.5 months later. Let's say 3 months later, because that night it was packed. Everybody wanted to get their diploma, and I told mom, there's too many people. I just want to retreat. So we went to a restaurant, which I was so nervous about being there, you know, like a combination of my parents, which I never get to see together, and then my godfather, and then, you know, the pressure of this is it, high school is over, what am I going to do, that I actually had a vomit episode. Not at the table or anything, I was eating, but like, it's like all of me was locked and just tight and tense that I had to step away to the bathroom, and then I discreetly told mom, I threw up. And additionally, the meal itself, I don't think it was that great. We went to Ruby Tuesday, and I was never a fan of Ruby Tuesday. That was kind of a bummer, because you would expect that it's your night, so you're going to get spoiled, but I really didn't have a say on where I was going to eat. But then again, I mean, they were doing something for me, so I'm just appreciative and grateful. And I feel bad that my mind just wasn't there like it's supposed to, but I mean, my teenage years were pretty rough. I still experience some of the stress that I experienced back then. so that doesn't help. But overall, graduation night is one of those nights that it's really not that memorable unless you really had a lot of accomplishments. But it's really like another night in your life. For me, nothing really stood out. I also took a couple of pictures with the people who really mattered to me, but there were some teachers I wanted to get a picture with, but they were too busy, so I couldn't make that happen, and that's really the one thing that bummed me out. But yeah, you guys, I would say I would encourage you to take pictures because that's like your preservation of the memory for posterity, and it really helps to look back at them 5, 6 years later and just notice how much things have changed. Like physically, I've changed a lot. Like my face is the same, but my shape is definitely different. And you'll just realize that stuff really isn't that bad, you know, stuff gets better. I also feel like the day or the evening itself had a lot of stress to it because everybody was wondering, oh, how am I going to wear my hair? And you also have to rehearse the ceremony. Like at noon, it was like freaking 90 degrees outside, and we were sitting there rehearsing. Of course, we didn't do a roll call of all the names, but still, we were like, oh, this is what you have to do. You walk this way, and you sit over here, and you know, even though you rehearse, the moment you're marching, it still brings you some stress. And also, that was another part that I always frowned at about graduations because they all take place in a football stadium out in the open. For the graduating folks of 2013, it rained, and for our graduation, it was as sunny as it could be, but I always wondered, man, if it's raining, I'm not marching. Alright guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. How was your graduation like? How long has it been since you graduated? What do you wish you would have done, or who did you spend it with? Anything. Any tale that you have to share, I'll be more than happy to give it a read and see what you guys experienced. I'll see you soon.